Let's start out with an informal greeting from me to you. What's happening? Hey, what's up? I hope that you're doing absolutely well. I'm gonna get right into it. This is a comment that I received on a YouTube video, so let me read it. It says, I liked this boy for 4 years, but I don't know, it's kind of wearing off, and I do like this girl, which is my best friend. When I'm around my bestie, I feel like I want to hug her and hold her. I don't have any sexual thoughts about my boy crush, and there's really no other boy crushes. Like, I get crushes, but then it just wears off. Like, I don't know, help. I decided to make this one into a video because I think a lot of us really have this confusion at first. I know I did. When I was growing up, I was always having crushes left and right, and I would notice the crushes on boys, but never the ones on girls. They never were apparent to me for me to be like, oh, they're crushes. I thought it was just admiration. I thought it was just like, I wish that I could be more like her. I wish I had her hair. I wish I had her eye color. I wish I could dress like her. I wish I looked like her, etc. But as I got older, I was like, oh, it turns out to be that I was not indeed starstruck, but I had a crush. Looking back, I never had a formula to help me figure out what I was feeling. I just let life take me where it was bound to take me, where it was meant to take me. And some of us don't believe in that, some of us do. I don't know, it's all on how you perceive things, but this is why I always say, like, just allow life to happen. Stop stopping yourself from liking who you like because somebody else might say it's wrong, because all growing up, all you've ever heard is that's not right, this is right, or this is wrong, or the way you feel is wrong, or because growing up you were taught to see the world a certain way. Well, newsflash, you're your own person. You have the ability to see things how you want to see things, how things seem to you. Sure, you can carry on things that you've been taught growing up, but nobody's there to say you need to think this way for the rest of your life. I think so differently with a lot of things in my life than I did as a kid, obviously, or growing up, or different from a couple of years ago. I'm going off on a tangent, but basically, to me, if I'm looking at the surface, because I don't know more than what you just told me, and I don't know you personally, but it looks like you probably like girls, and maybe it could be that you're bisexual. I don't know. That's my bird, by the way. It could always be that you just haven't met the right boy yet, or you just haven't met the right girl yet. Maybe the crushest part of you is still that part of you that is like, oh, but I've always learned that this is the way it's supposed to be, or this is what I've been taught, or this is how most of the people in the world are like, or the way they live their lives. I don't really know. I mean, only you would be able to really dig deep and see if that's what it really is. But I think a tall tale, I think it's tall tale sign. I think that's what it is. A tall tale sign, or whatever the phrase is, could definitely be where you mentioned that you are not sexually attracted to any of your boy crushes. Could be. It could be that really you can form an emotional or a romantic bond or have those feelings for a boy, but no sexual feelings. But you have all of it with a girl. I mean, there's so many things in this world, but I generally just think that eventually somebody's gonna come along, the right person that's meant to form a part of your story is gonna come along, and it's gonna change all of that for you, or change a lot of things for you, and really put things into perspective for you. It's just gonna come into your life and make a different impact, enough for you to be like, oh, okay. So I'm not exactly sure what you're asking for help with, but I feel like maybe you're asking like, what am I, kind of thing, you know what I mean? That's just proof right there. Look what you just said. You have liked this boy for 4 years. That's a long time. And now it's wearing off. Why? Because your eyes have focused on somebody else now. You've turned your head to someone else who is now, I guess you could say, a big reason why your attraction and your feelings is wearing off to this boy that you've had feelings for 4 years. So I think maybe you have to ask yourself, yeah, maybe you have feelings for your best friend and she's a girl, and that's okay, you know what I mean? Like, so be it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the feelings while it lasts. I do want to say something, because this is something that could possibly happen, and I do want you to know that it could happen and to put it out there. And I don't want it to scare you, I just want you to know, and I'm pretty sure you may have thought about this, but a lot of times when, especially if your best friend is not into the same sex, it's just something to keep in mind, that sometimes having feelings for somebody who is your best friend and letting them know could ruin the friendship. And sometimes it might be amazing and you'll be like, oh my goodness, we're in love, and you know, everything works out. But just keep that in mind, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the sweet little amazing moments, and I don't mean creepily. Just live in the moment. Just enjoy having your best friend in your life. You know where to go from here. You know what you want to do and what you don't want to do, what's best and what's not best for you. I think if you're asking me based on what you're telling me, I think you could be definitely into the same sex, and that's perfectly fine. I also think that since somebody that really makes you happy has come into your life, things are changing for you. You're growing more into your skin, and that's what life is constantly going to bring you. You're constantly going to have events and people and things that happen to you in life that are going to form a part of your story. Some that will come and go, and some will be here forever, some will just be here for a day or maybe an hour. Things like that will be a part of you just growing into your skin. If things don't work out with your best friend, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work out with another girl that you might cross your path, and you might like be so like, oh my gosh, I like her so much. Just the same thing with like boys. There might be another boy that comes along that totally steals your heart. And that's why I just say don't pay so much attention to labels and labeling yourself and trying to figure it out now. Don't rush things. Just live life and allow the answers to be brought to you. So long as you just go about life and you live your life, everything will eventually fall into place. There's no need to rush things. There's no need to go out and go crazy and experiment things just so you could figure it out. None of that. Just live life. Smile, laugh, enjoy the beautiful little things in life. And soon enough, you'll find the answers, and eventually everything is going to connect for you. Just the most important thing is to not bust your head open trying to figure things out, trying to make things work out, trying to fit the pieces to the puzzle where they clearly don't fit, because you'll only end up miserable, and you don't want that. Don't waste any more time on the dumb crap. Focus on what makes you happy, on the important things, on living life and loving who you love. Don't focus so much on what's right and what's wrong according to the people around you. Whatever's right and whatever's wrong for you in your heart and your mind, and what of those things makes you happy, do more of that. Do more of what makes you smile and laugh, and focus less on what other people think you should be doing, how you should be dressing, who you should be liking, or how you should be speaking, or what you should be doing with your life. Focus less on that, because that is not important. What's important is what's in here and what's up here. Just live your life. Like, just live your life and just be genuinely happy, because we never know what could happen next, and we never know when we're gonna leave this earth. So live your life like today is your last day. I know that sounds incredibly corny and cheesy, but you gotta do it. You have to just take advantage of being here on earth and of the now, and just be happy. You know, because being happy is such a beautiful thing. It really is. There's nothing like being happy. Being sad couldn't ever compare to being genuinely happy, and then just going out and breathing in the fresh air and looking around and seeing the surroundings and how incredibly blessed you are to have what you have in your life. That is all far more important than figuring out a label for yourself. You don't need a label. You are who you are. Point blank. That's the end of it. It's super simple. You are who you are, and you should love yourself for who you are, despite what others might say, despite what those who are extremely close to you, your loved ones, may say or think. Yeah, I think I pretty much answered that. I went off on a couple of jillion topics, but I think I answered it for the most part. So I just want to thank you so much for leaving this comment on my video, because it gave me the opportunity to also make this into a video, because I know there's so many out there who really need to hear these words. I know that I could have definitely used this to my benefit when I was going through growing into my skin and being confused. When I say that, I mean on the days where I was extremely low, because I did allow life to just take me where it was bound to take me, but that doesn't mean that there weren't days where I was literally crying myself to sleep at night, where I was super freaking heartbroken and sad, because I just didn't think I was normal. I wanted to be normal so bad, or what I perceived to be normal, or what society told me it was normal back then. But later in life, when I realized that who I am, and I can't help that, I'm not going to conform to the likings of others, I started to change my mindset, and here I am. I'm happy as hell with who I am, and I got through. And you're gonna get through too. So, you know, again, we're not given what we can't handle. Don't see it as something that's hindering you. See it as something that is a blessing, because no matter what, you are unique, and that's absolutely amazing. You don't want to be normal. You don't want to be the norm. You want to be who you are. All right. So I hope this definitely helps, and I'm gonna get going now. I'll see you in the next video. If you do want to see any more of me, or you want to just check out my social medias, please do. Feel free to follow me if you really like what you see. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, there's one thing that I want to call to mind. There are actually 3. No matter the highs, the lows, always be sure, always be certain to do good. Be grateful and stay humble. See ya. Bye.